Hello, yes, and welcome to another episode of MLS Ireland. Well, I'll be bringing to you my predictions, obviously, for week 17. The weeks are flying in, so, stay tuned. Yes, thank you very much for joining me. Yes, my name is Sean, and if you're new to this, hit that subscribe button. They're moving up, the digits are moving up, and people are actually watching. A lot more people are actually watching. I don't know why, but anyway. If you are putting bets on what I kind of predict, think about what you put money on. I don't want to be sitting going, you should pick this and should pick that, and basically, and then somebody lose a lot of money. If you want to start betting on what I say, it's probably best just to send me the money if you're going to throw it away. But I do try to give you a wee bit of a heads up of what you can bet on. Say I got half of my predictions, more than half of my predictions were quite right last week. Well, last 3 days ago. There's a lot of games, so saying that the games are in MLS are very spontaneous. I said that quite weirdly. So I may as well kick on for the first one, which is Inter Miami against Houston Dynamo. It's going to be on TV here, as is every Inter Miami game is. I don't think we haven't missed a game here. I don't know why are we watching all these teams? Like they're not pushing for the supporter shield or the MLS Cup. I don't know why they're being anyway. David Beckham. So saying that, they're coming up against the Houston Dynamo team, who I'm still not sold on after they sold their best player, but they beat FC Dallas, who I said FC Dallas was going to win. But again, that was FC Dallas, and FC Dallas isn't doing all really well. And they're coming up against an Inter Miami team who beat Red Bulls, who I thought would have got beaten by Red Bulls, but didn't. So first game, obviously, I think Inter Miami actually could win this one again. So I'm going to go for like a 2-1 win. Inter Miami are starting to come into things. Higuain's starting to play, and Tweedy's starting to influence the midfield, and Morgan is now, I'm not going to say the main man anymore, but he's, at the very start, he was the man to really do everything, but they are without Persuado, so it's going to be an interesting one, but I do think Inter Miami should win this one. The next one is Atlanta against New York Red Bulls. New York Red Bulls got beat by Inter, as I was saying, and Atlanta, they drew against Orlando, which was another result I got incorrect. I thought Orlando was going to win, but a 0-0 wasn't too bad. They were at home, so saying that they're at home again against the Red Bulls, they will have a better chance in winning this game. I'm not 100% sure, as the Red Bulls are still a strange team. The two teams are very strange. Atlanta are 18th, whereas Red Bulls 13th, so when you put those into perspective, Atlanta hasn't, the two of them, well, Atlanta has won about the same, drawn about the same, and lost about the same as Red Bulls is away from home. So when you try and think that into the perspectives of things, Atlanta should get a result in this one, but I can't see this game being all that exciting. So I may go for a strange one, but I might go for like a 1-0 to Atlanta. I do think they're trying to get back into the swing of things, and I think their manager now knows kind of on how to play. So I'm going to go for a 1-0 to Atlanta. Next one is Colorado against LA Galaxy, and I am not 100% sure this game's going to go ahead because COVID. So saying that, I'll do a quick prediction. Prediction is basically the fucking name of the show. So LA Galaxy lost their last two games, whereas Colorado, who was supposed to play midweek, didn't, but they won their game before that, are probably coming into this game with a bit more energy, a bit more time off, if they even trained, which I don't think they may have. So saying that, they're coming up against an LA Galaxy team who are shipping in goals. They didn't do too well in their last game. They lost 6-3 against Portland, which I got Portland to win, but I didn't think that much. But anyway, saying that, this game could be an all different one, but I think Colorado could win this one 2-1. So again, this game could be postponed and not even play. Wait. 2020. And the next one is Vancouver against Real Salt Lake. Vancouver haven't even drew a game at home, which is very weird. Whereas Real Salt Lake is probably one or two games away from home. They've drawn plenty of games away from home. So, and two of them have lost their both last games away and home, if you know what I mean. Vancouver's lost their last away game. Real Salt Lake's lost their anyway. You know what I mean. Real Salt Lake aren't doing very well. They got beat by Seattle and LAFC in their last two games. Now they're coming up against a Vancouver team who are lost their last four games against San Jose, Seattle, Portland, and LAFC. So you can see where this game's probably going to go. I do think Vancouver are probably the stranger team in this, whereas Real Salt Lake are weird. So saying that, these teams do have a tendency of scoring a lot of goals, but coming up against each other, it possibly could happen. Like Vancouver's over 2.5 goals a game at home is over like 85%, 83%. So keep that in mind. So I'm going to go for like a 2-1 win to Vancouver. Again, could be a strange one. It could be 2-2 if you're thinking about putting money on this one. It is going to be a lot of goals in this game. So, but I'm going to go for a 2-1 to Vancouver. Next one is New York City against New England. So that kind of northeast kind of another battle. I think New York City are probably the better team now than they were at the start of the season. They're starting to pick up. Like Vancouver, they haven't drew a game at home, and they are now playing in the Yankee Stadium. So coming up against the New England team, the two teams, New England won their last game away from home, whereas New York won their last two home games. And they won their last three games too, which is pretty impressive. And whereas New England aren't. With New York City at home, it could be a good one for them, but New England are kind of like a bogey team for them. But I said that the last time, and New York City won 2-0. So I'm going to go for a similar. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to New York City FC. With Montreal out now, it's going to be a bit different on how they're going to play, but I do think they're still going to have that wee bit much for them. And coming into the next game is LAFC against Seattle, which is probably I wouldn't say that. Yeah, it's probably a bit the tie of the whole thing. So saying that, these two teams with 2.5 goals scored are both 80%. LAFC lost their last home game. Who that was that against? Where is it? That was against San Jose. Then they beat Real Salt Lake away from home. And Seattle Sounders are flying at the moment, and they've won their last three games, and two of them being at home. And their last home game was against LA Galaxy, and where they won 3-1. So saying that, Seattle Sounders are probably the better team in this one. So I'm going to go for like a 2-0 win away from home to Seattle Sounders. I know that's going to be a bit of a strange one, and if you are going to put a bet on that one, you know, think about it. But Seattle are probably the better team in this one, so I'm going to go for that 2-0. The next one is Chicago Fire against DC United. Chicago Fire against DC, Jesus Christ. DC United, if you're not heard, sacked their manager yesterday, and now are probably crap. They're coming up against a Chicago Fire team who I think they won, didn't they? Did they win? No, they lost. I thought they were going to win. They got beat by Sporting Kansas City. No, I predicted them to draw. Anyway, I do think they're going to win this one. Chicago Fire should win this one. DC United are down on their luck at the moment, and I think Chicago Fire will win this game quite comfortably. So I'm going to go for like a 2-0 win to Chicago Fire. The next one is Orlando against Columbus Crew. Columbus Crew, who are not having a great time of it at the moment. They were top, now they're third. They lost their last two of their last three and drew one. It's not really like them. They're missing Darlene Nagby quite badly, and they're coming up against the Orlando team who were flying at the start, kinda, and then in the last 6 games they won their first 3, drew, and then won and drew. So saying that, both of those draws were kind of away from home. So saying that, at home against Columbus Crew, they could possibly win this one. So I'm going to go for like a 3-1 win to Orlando. I do. If Nagby is back fitting, I'm not 100% sure, and I should have really probably checked up and see if he and when is going to be back, but I'm not a professional. not even anything really. So yeah, 3-1 to Orlando. The next one is Philadelphia against Montreal. Philadelphia won their last game, but lost the game last before that against Toronto, which was a surprising one. Their last game they played against Montreal away from home, they won 4-1. Now them playing in Philadelphia, they should win this one quite easily. So I'm gonna go for like another 3-1 game. I'm going to think Philadelphia should win this one 3-1. They're just cracking at the moment, and that game against Toronto, who are now top, was kind of like, well, what's going to happen? And the next one, Sporting Kansas City against Nashville. Nashville, I would have expected them. They drew their last 3 games, which wasn't too bad. They're coming up against a very good team in Sporting Kansas City, who won their game last time. Who against? Christ, I was just talking to them about them. Yeah, Chicago Fire and Houston. So not too bad. Sporting Kansas City against Nashville. When was the last time they played? I wonder. But it doesn't really matter. Sporting Kansas City should win this one. Sorry, so Capo. I like that. Never mind. Sporting Kansas City should probably get a good result in this one, but I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw. I think Nashville are they know how to now to play, and they're coming up against the Sporting Kansas team, who are very sporadic. The next one is FC Dallas against Minnesota. Minnesota should probably get this one over the line. I like Minnesota at the moment. FC Dallas are very strange, where they could possibly win this one, but I think Minnesota, with all they are starting to play quite good, even though they've in the last 6 games they've only won the 1 game, and that was against Cincinnati. As FC Dallas has not done that great either. So saying that, I will go for Minnesota, like 2-0 win. Minnesota should win this one quite easily. And obviously the last game is Portland Timbers against San Jose Earthquakes. Portland, with winning 6-3 against LA Galaxy, they're coming up against a San Jose team who won their last away game. San Jose won their last 3 games, so it's pretty impressive for San Jose, but I think Portland should win this one. I'll go for like a 2-1 win to Portland, even though this is probably a game where everybody's inconsistent in MLS, apart from probably Toronto and DC United. They're very consistently bad. So I'm going to go for like 2-1 win to Portland Timbers. They should really get this one over the line, even though San Jose are very weird, and as is Portland. Those are my predictions. I probably gonna get a few correct, so if you think on which game you think is going to be different, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one, which is probably Wednesday, so stay tuned.